Hello, guys and dolls. I thought I would do another vid because the other one was quite intense. So let me give you a lighter video. Okay, so she tried it, y'all. She tried it. All right, so I'm not gonna name names and the name of the site or anything like that. All right, but what I will tell you is that she tried me. All right, so I'm part of this social group that you socialize with people that you sign up with the events that you see. If something interests you, you sign up in it, and then once you sign up, you're pretty much committed to it. Not saying that you can't get out of it. If something came up, you just tell the person in charge of that particular group, hey, Susie, I can't make it. I'm really sorry, but something came up and I'll catch you guys next time, or whatever the scenario is. So, the topic of the so called group was to compare healthy and toxic relationships, okay? And nobody showed up except me the first time. And this is a relatively new group, brand new, as a matter of fact. So I'm trying not to say too much because I don't want to give away too much of what happened, but I need to tell you how it went down. So I was going to learn as much as I could and then compare other people's stories and kind of fill you guys in on what other people have been through, which we've already talked about that before with dealing with narcissism and the absolute terror that they, you know, um, caused the people who were, who got caught in their web. Let's put it that way. So went to there was no discussion about toxic versus healthy. We just talked about what we had been through in our relationships and past histories and things like that. And then before I left, this person, well, anyway, uh, her children are musically inclined, so she had them show me different things that they could do and this sort of thing, okay? And then after that, I ended up leaving after we talked quite a bit. We talked until I didn't leave there till 1 o'clock in the morning. So then the second time I went, I have a tent that's a pop-up tent. If you haven't used a pop-up tent in a long time, you have to get the feel of it again, how it works, because you don't want to be in the field and you're it's getting ready to pour down rain and you're standing out in the rain trying to remember how to do your tent. Okay, so I was practicing it. Putting it down or putting it up is easy, putting it away is a little tricky. It's doable, but it's tricky. So I was practicing in the front yard of her house the same day we were supposed to have another group. So this person is driving down the road and he's like, hey, are you the owner of this house? And I'm a realtor and all this other business. I said, no, I'm not the owner. The owner's actually inside. So I went and got her, and she got to talking to him, and she showed him the front yard and the backyard and all that. Okay. Then she proceeds to have him on the back porch talking, and that's fine. And she invited him to our group, which I thought was a little different. We don't know this person from a can of paint, but you know, when you have kids, you have to be extra protective because you're not just taking care, protecting yourself. You have to protect your children too. But she let this individual in there, and then she starts talking about and breaking out computer outlines and this whole spiel about this particular community that they're trying to create where everybody has the same amount of money. Everybody in the community has a certain job that they are responsible to do, and you live off grid and you have your own meals. And it's just this societal, this community thing that they're raising money for and trying really hard to find members. I was floored because I don't know where that came from and I don't even know what's happening right now. But I didn't want to embarrass her in front of this person that she let in the house, so I just didn't say anything. You don't want to call someone on the carpet in front of someone else and then you embarrass them or whatever, but it was just weird, okay? And then come to find out, this person that she invited is also um musically inclined. And so she got to talking to him about the kids. And then the person went downstairs and I went downstairs and we didn't have a group. And I remember at one point I said, okay, well, let's get back to relationships. And that never happened. That got blown off. And we ended up downstairs again in the, doing music things and singing and playing piano and playing guitars and all of that. And that's all well and good, but that wasn't the purpose of us being there. And the way this individual came off, the one that she let in the house, the way this person came off, you know, they talk about happiness and only positivity and only positive people, and nothing negative is allowed to come this person's way, and happiness and cupcakes grow on trees and raindrops are skittles and happy, 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 happy. And you and I both know that is not reality. People die. Your sister had a miscarriage, somebody gets a divorce, someone loses their job, someone got laid off, and to have the whole world be this balloon of pure happiness all the time is just asinine. But I'm listening to what this person's saying and I'm like, that's unrealistic, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let everything play out the way it played out. So the person eventually left, and I eventually left probably a few hours after that. But the more I thought about it, the more I did not want to be part of this anymore, because to me it was a hidden agenda. You say the group is for this thing, but then you don't tell me on the first visit, but you tell me on the second visit because this person's here. So you break out the real reason for this group, which is you pushing this agenda. And the more I thought about it, the more I didn't feel comfortable going back over there. And I told the leader of this particular so-called group, non-existent group, that I wouldn't be back. And so that was that, or so I thought. And then the person texted me and said, okay, well, it was nice to meet you. I said, take care. And then I found, well, excuse me, let me backtrack just a second, a little bit. Let me backtrack. I had talked to the person through text, the one that she had invited to her house. And I found out from her that she had told this other person, she had asked me out. She was going on a double date and she asked me out, and I wasn't going to be like a third wheel. Like, you've got a couple and then me, and that's like awkward, right? So I just didn't want to be part of that. Well, when you tell her no, that goes in one ear and out the other, because she's still going to push her agenda. That's just who she is, and I don't respect that, and I'm not going to tolerate that. So I found out when I talked to her on the phone that she had asked this other person to take me out behind my back. And I thought it was weird as hell. It's almost like you're making me look desperate. Hey, can you take her out because. Now, I'd already told this person I didn't want to go. Went in one ear, and not the other. So you gonna go behind my back and ask a total stranger to give me a sympathy date? That's not cute. So I was really shocked by that. And I basically, Mr. Happy, he's a man, I might as well say it, he's a man. Mr. Positive, Mr. Happy, Mr. The whole world is cupcakes and roses for everyone, and no one dies alone. In fact, no one dies ever. They live forever in whatever world he's living in, whatever planet he's living on. I texted him and I said, I'm sorry that that went down. I didn't know that she had asked you to ask me out. I just wanted to apologize because I'm sure that was pretty awkward. Mr. Happy, Mr. Positive says, so what? It's not a big deal. That's a positive response. Mr. Happy, full of shit. Anyway, so then, and I said, well, how's your day going? And I got ignored. No response. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I went ahead and blocked him. He had asked me about Facebook. I said, I'm not on Facebook, but he knew about my Instagram. And so I blocked him on Instagram because if you don't have the common decency, Mr. I'm so happy and the whole world needs to be happy and I'm going to spread happiness everywhere I go, bullshit and tons of bullshit. That's not who he is at all. Okay, it's all a facade, and I discovered it really quickly. Just one little subtle, tiny thing: not responding to someone, ignoring them. And I don't mean you have to text me right away. People get busy. I get busy. When I am on the water, for example, I don't talk to anybody. My phone goes off because I'm enjoying nature. Okay, let me hold on for a second. Just want to grab my water. Stay hydrated. So, whatever. You don't respond to me for days, and you're so happy and so positive. Okay, yeah. So I blocked him. So anyway, this other person, the leader of the group, after I said I wouldn't be back, okay, it was, she said it was nice to meet you or whatever, and I said, well, take care. So I'm thinking this is the end of it. No, it is not the end of anything. So then she emails me and says, so I'm going to do the Zoom thing, and which she had asked me about prior. I don't know how to do Zoom. I don't know how to do Zoom. I'm going to need you to help me. I said, it isn't hard. You just download Zoom on your phone and follow the instructions and kind of, feel your way through it. Plus, her son knew how to do anything computer related. She didn't need me at all. And this was after I told her I wasn't going to be back. So she invited me with a Zoom meeting. Didn't I tell her I wouldn't be back? I thought I did. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I told her I wouldn't be back. But because she doesn't respect your boundaries, she's going to push the envelope and keep pushing until hopefully you give in. I'm not giving in. I already told you. She didn't need me because she had her son. He knows how to do computer things. Let me also backtrack. I also had invited her to go kayaking because there's a place where you can rent them. Well, she said, well, I need to go on a day that's convenient for my boys. I need to make sure they're available. What? I have nothing against her boys, but I didn't invite them. This is grown-up girl time. That's weird. And whenever we had our supposed group, whatever that means, because we never had one of those, she invited her boys. So I'm thinking if other women were there, that would be awkward as hell because kids don't need to be hearing how you were married to a narcissist and he put his hands on you and he knocked you down a flight of stairs and, He likes to rape you in your sleep. And yes, some women have been through that. He prefers to tag you when you're sleeping because he's a narcissist. He wants what he wants when he wants it. Okay. Women probably do the same thing to men. Although men are always eager to get laid, but for women, it's more of a violation usually. And those are the types of topics that are for grown-ups. That's not where you invite your kids in. That's she can't do anything without her boys. So I'm thinking like, okay, you can't go to a bar without your sons either because what are you gonna do? Dress them up like grown-ups and bring them, they're teenagers, but you can put mustaches and beards on them and make them look grown to get in the bar because you can't do anything without them. Look, every parent that I know and have ever known, they can't wait to do grown up things away from their kids. They're like, I need grown up time, I need me time, and I need y'all out of my face for an hour or a couple of hours. Because kids call you all the time, mom, 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 mom. And mom gets to the point where she wants to change her identity, okay? So when you know how this is, those of you that have kids, I know how this works. But she can't function without them. I didn't invite them. I invited you. There were too many weird things. And then with the tent thing, and I'm going back and forth, so just follow me, okay? Just jump with me. When I got to, it was close to the time where we expected more people to come, which they never did, okay? But I'm stuck on how to close this tent because it's causing me an issue. She was supposed to film me doing the tent so I could show you guys if you all were interested in getting a tent similar to this. Well, when I got stuck on the tent and I couldn't put it back together, and I'm sitting there and I'm trying to use my phone to look up YouTube how to put because I'm stuck. She goes in the house. She's like, I gotta go in the house and I gotta help so and so. I gotta tell so and so that's coming to the group. I gotta send them a message. She never came back outside. In other words, I'm not going to do what you want me to do, but you won't do what I want you to do. She grew up in an abusive home. Her mother was very, very vicious to her, hated her guts, sabotaged her every way she could, told her how ugly she was. And abuse causes narcissism, and neglect causes narcissism in the child also. Okay. It was just a bunch of very passive aggressive, subtle screw yous. And I thought, I'm not having this. I'm eliminating people like this in my life. I'm not inviting them in. And when I find out that you're full of shit and that you are very dismissive of the needs of others, that tells me even if you're not narcissistic, you're just an asswipe. I'm done. All right. So the moral of the story, guys and dolls, the moral of the story is make sure you exercise your boundaries and make sure you put your foot down. And when you say no, that means no. It doesn't mean keep harassing me until I give in. It means no. Did you not hear me the first time I said? So she sent me another invite after I ignored the first one, after I had told her I'm not interested. So I finally had to break down and tell her why I wasn't interested, although I really technically don't have to tell you nothing. The fact that you don't respect me and you run away when I need you, but you expect me to always be there for you, tells me everything I need to know about you. Anyway, she just really out there. So second invite for Zoom, and I decided to send her an email back, and I said, the first time I saw you, which I don't owe you explanation, but I just did it out of courtesy because somebody around here has to have manners. I said, when I saw you the first time, you never mentioned about this community thing, and I'm not going to mention the name of this organization that she's a part of, and she's trying to recruit people. I'm not going to go into that, but um, you didn't mention anything about this the first time I met you. You mentioned it the second time when this other person was there. And to be quite honest, I was thrown because I don't even know where in the hell all that came from. In addition to that, we didn't talk about what we were supposed to be talking about. And then when I told you, in addition to that, When I told you I wasn't interested in going out with you and another couple, I just told you I wasn't interested. You went behind my back and asked this person to take me out. I don't want nobody taking me out as a sympathy date. Man, woman, bird, dog, hippopotamus. I don't want no damn body, taking me out as a sympathy date. Can you please go out, my friend? She doesn't have anybody. I take myself out. I don't need no sympathy date from some fool that talks all this happy, glitter, explosive happiness that just spreads throughout the world. And he's full of shit because he was very rude when I talked to him on text. So all of that was a show. See how nice I am? See how great I am? Go by behavior, not what they say. Okay? Stop falling into the trap of what some fool told you. But I love you. I care about you. I give everybody glitter bombs and there's no trace of the glitter. It just goes up in the air and evaporates so that you can see the sparkle and the happiness that life has to bring. Right. And then you turn around and be a prick. So that tells me that all that happiness and all that bullshit talk was simply bullshit. Okay? Simply bullshit. He didn't want my number anyway. He was all in her face. You get with her. You don't have to ask for my number as a sympathy ploy. Well, I asked for her number, so I have to ask for you. Don't have to ask me for shit. Okay? Please. Go on somewhere. I did fine before I met you. I'll do fine after you're gone. Bye. Bye, fool. Bye. So anyway, it was a whole bunch of passive aggressive bullshit that I thought was insane. And then you want me to be your secretary on top of that. You have a lot of wants and needs and no need to, respect somebody's boundaries. That's when you get rid of the person. Okay? You get rid of them. You're fired. What do I always do? Snip, 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 snip. You are out of here. All right. You guys take care. Talk to you soon.